first carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And he fires one that's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. Here's Wilson. Open man, it's Burnett. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 15 yards through the air and a first down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Football going back over to the Carolina Panthers here, and for Carolina, it's hard to fathom what went wrong with them this season. It's been said before, we talked about it, they were 6-2 at the midway point, right in the mix for a first-round bye, and then everything kind of went wrong from there on out.
I wonder if we'll look back at that Thursday nighter in Pittsburgh, where they got absolutely blasted. And at the time, we thought it was kind of a one-off, you know? Bad night, throw it out, here we go. But that led to a really bad stretch of football for Carolina, a lot of losses. And you just wonder, did that game take so much out of them that it was hard for them to bounce back? Now, look, the playoff thing for them is going to figure on a lot of other teams and a lot of other factors, so they could be in or out depending how other teams do. Bottom line is, they didn't take care of business themselves.
Yeah, and that Week 15 loss to the Saints, that kind of really sealed their fate. That put them 2 games below 500. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. They will go for it. Now Newton. got his target, Samuel. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Facing a fourth down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now the former Oregon man, this is Kenyon Barner. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Seahawks have recovered. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
Well, Charles, the Seattle Seahawks, they were 8-5 going into a Week 15 game against the 49ers, a team that they had beaten 10 straight times, and then they lose that game, surprisingly, 26-23. And as they tried to carry momentum toward the playoffs, I was surprised at that outcome.
I was beyond surprised. I thought that game was pretty much a lock because the momentum Seattle was bringing in, the level of play that they were bringing, and you're taking on a team in San Francisco who's on their third quarterback. Although that young man, Nick Mullins, has acquitted himself quite well. But now, Seattle's got to sweat it out a little bit. The last couple of weeks of the season, trying to get one of the 2 remaining wildcard spots, they've got Kansas City in a primetime game before they end up in their last game of the season. So look out for Seattle, but at the same time, they've got some work to do.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Here's Carson. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to draw up something good here on 3rd and 13.
Tempo.
Now it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaq Thompson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Sebastian Janikowski to try the Seahawks field goal. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Janikowski bangs it through, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. And caught left side, Olsen. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And he slides to avoid the hit. 1:57 to go in this first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey on the give. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Barkevious Mingo in that time on the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Newton now to throw. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here we go with McCaffrey, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And got his man complete. A big play there just before halftime. 47 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola. And then, of course, to Stanford. And, boy, he's been good. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Julius Peppers able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Here's Wilson. End zone caught. Seattle. Tyler Lockett as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Out to kick is Janikowski. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles, you want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. They run it with Carson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On third down, Wilson. Now he's flushed out left. He may try and run for this. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Now it's Wilson escaping the pressure right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield, and the Panthers have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
He'll get it up the middle. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown. Extra point try good by Gano. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
19.
Wilson. Well, stays up. And shedding through the tackle. Now he steps away. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. To throw is Wilson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. They give him a gain of 38. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now it's Carson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to...
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete.
Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
I do want to take this time to mention that the next few months, very big in the competitive Madden Championship Series. A few weeks ago, we saw Skimbo go back-to-back.
That's right, back-to-back, second straight year.
You're fired up. And then next up, the Madden Challenge, and it's a $190,000 prize pool. And
eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Bobby Wagner in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Third and long, it's Newton. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And Cam Newton's not coming off the field. He'll keep the offense out to go for it on 4th. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Now Wilson on second down. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Julius Peppers in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now Wilson. Flushed out right. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
got a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Out of the gun, Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Frank Clark in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. To throw on second down. Newton. And an alley to run. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him 9 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Frank Clark in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Looking to throw on second down. Newton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. In for the score. And the Panthers have got it back to a one-score game. Gano the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On second down, Wilson. They'll lock him with the grab over the middle. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A first down carry for Davis. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. They'll run it again here with Davis. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Wilson to throw. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. First down, Seahawks, Wilson to Baldwin. Wilson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll toss it out to Carson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The Panthers are going to take another timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's going to go up top for the... And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Hey, hey.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Gano out to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. We'll see if they bring that pressure. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy.
Yeah.
In addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the 4th quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel